My fellow citizens and residents and well-wishers, it is good to be back on This Week Leadership Matters. This is a popular interactive public education forum that engages constructively with our people on the big issues affecting their lives and livelihoods. Our aim is to educate, inform, and assist our people to play a meaningful role in the future development of our country, St. Kitts and Nevis. We also aim to learn from you and shape public policies based on your constructive feedback. The big issue for this week is the rollout of our vaccination program. Yesterday, February the 22nd, we commenced the historic rollout of a national vaccination program at the Newtown Health Center. We are now at a critical stage of the implementation of the final element of our four-pronged strategy to keep our country safe and restore it to normalcy in a safe and sustainable way. Yesterday, I was so proud to see so many persons volunteering to take the vaccine. We had members of the cabinet, doctors, nurses, the clergy, diplomatic corps, etc., being part of this watershed event. We have begun the process of immunizing our citizens and residents against COVID-19. In doing so, it is our expectation that we would achieve herd immunity so that our country can safely resume to, quote-unquote, a normal way of life. When we vaccinate enough of our population, we achieve our goal of reaching what the medical fraternity refers to as herd immunity, or what is sometimes called population immunity. This is the indirect protection from an infectious disease that happens when a population is immune, either through vaccination or through previous infection. In the case of the coronavirus disease, the scientific community has estimated that herd immunity comes when between 70 to 90% of the population receive vaccines. It is therefore extremely important that we in St. Kitts and Nevis and in the region achieve this goal. No one should be left behind. Everyone should be interested in protecting him or herself from the dangerous consequences of COVID-19. Several members of my cabinet and I volunteered to be part of the first batch of persons to be vaccinated. We have been assured by our team of medical experts that they have taken all precautions to ensure a successful vaccine rollout for our citizens and residents. Yesterday, I'm advised, around 70 persons participated in this pilot rollout. Today and every work day, our citizens and residents are encouraged to go to the relevant health centers or to call our national hotline 311 to get their appointment to be vaccinated. Let me at this time remind our citizens and residents that the health centers that will be used for the first phase of the vaccine rollout are in St. Kitts, Newtown, Barstair, Sandy Point, and Tabernacle Health Centers, and on the island of Nevis, the Charlestown, Gingerland, and Combermere Health Centers. You may ask the question, why vaccination? And there are several good reasons why it is important to be vaccinated, some of which are as follows. One, it is always important to take responsibility for your health. When you vaccinate, you protect yourself from the worst effects of COVID-19 and you strengthen your immune system to fight COVID-19. This responsibility must extend to our families, our communities, and indeed to our country. We avoid the risks of overwhelming our health system with consequential deaths and life-threatening scenarios. Another reason why we should vaccinate is that vaccination would help us to put thousands back to work, especially in areas of high contact, such as our hotels, restaurants, taxi and tour operation subsectors. Finally, we put our economy and by extension our country back to a state of near normalcy through this vaccination program. By that I mean we help put the country on the path firstly of recovery and growth. We experienced 5 years of consistent growth annually from 2015 to 2019 until COVID-19 came. During the vaccination process, it is important for us to be reminded that the COVID-19 related protocols that we have been following must be maintained. Hence, I strongly urge our citizens and residents in St. Kitts and Nevis to continue to take this virus seriously. In doing so, we must always remember the importance of wearing our masks properly, hand sanitizing, and practicing social and physical distancing. It is important to note that one of the reasons we have been successful thus far in our approach is our Life First strategy, which is the core element of our COVID-19 response. I take this opportunity to thank the citizens and residents of this beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis for embracing our all-of-society approach and for their compliance and cooperation over the last 11 months in the fight against COVID-19. Your patience, stamina, and understanding have contributed to our international standing as a very low-risk jurisdiction as it relates to COVID-19. I urge you now to continue being vigilant. Do not drop your guard. We all should continue to exercise caution in what we do and how we behave if we are to win this battle. We must remain focused and disciplined and continue to fully adhere to the protocols outlined by our health professionals. This watershed moment in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis's health system and our economy and country will long be remembered. I will remember the fortitude, the courage, and patriotism of many of our citizens, like Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, Dr. Hazel Laws, Mr. Abdia Samuel, and all other frontline leaders and workers, like Commissioner Hilroy Brandy, the Defense Force Commander Anthony Comrie, my cabinet colleague. I single out the Ministry of Health and the Attorney General, the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the clergy, the Immigration Department, all of whom, during a period of global and national crisis, stood tall and did all in their power to ensure a most robust and effective response. 11 months since our first COVID-19 cases, we have been fighting the good fight. It has not been a relay. It has been more like a marathon session. Other countries over time let down their guard with disastrous consequences. We in St. Kitts and Nevis held strain. The prayers, the stamina and resilience of our people inspired me as Prime Minister to face a global pandemic of the type the world has never seen, and we as a people responded in an orderly and successful manner. We did this together. I consoled myself in the certain knowledge that my God, who had taken me this far, would not forsake me, and the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis He selected me to lead. Now that we can see the light near the end of the tunnel, let us take the vaccination shot. Do not get weary in well-doing. Do not be like the doubting Thomases, being swayed here and there by every wind of false doctrine and misinformation. Our health team and task force have both advised my government and the people of this country very well. We are all alive today to tell the tale. With such a meaningful experience, we can make St. Kitts and Nevis, this country we all love, the model country, in holding off COVID-19, containing it, achieving herd immunity, and returning our beloved land to near normalcy. This, of course, will be a wonderful achievement. This will be a beautiful history, which we, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, would have choreographed about how, when united as a people, we can fight and defeat an invisible and deadly virus that turned our world upside down. As your national leader, I encourage you to take advantage of the free vaccines. It costs you nothing, yet it will do you and your family a lot of good. So encourage all your friends, your loved ones, your co-workers and teammates to register for the vaccine. When in doubt, my advice is to consult your doctor, our medical personnel, and follow up on all public education programs. In this regard, and in keeping with our all-of-society approach, I want to thank the task force for collaborating with Ross University in a massive public education program on vaccines held today, I'm advised, at the Ross University Auditorium. I gather near 100 participants, drawn from the private sector and wider civil society entities, participated. More power to them. St. Kitts and Nevis has a highly commendable record in mass vaccination. Many of us are alive because of this. A number of vaccination programs come readily to mind: measles, mumps and rubella, diphtheria, whooping cough and tetanus, yellow fever, hepatitis, inactivated polio, oral polio vaccine, DPT, influenza, human papilloma virus. All these vaccination programs and more have helped us to have a very outstanding record in healthcare delivery. They have helped us as a people to live fuller and happier lives. We must now add the COVID-19 vaccine to our list. In anticipation of the highest voluntary acceptance of the COVID-19 vaccine in modern times, my government has over 41,600 doses of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines on order, with delivery expected over the coming weeks. We are bringing them in and making them available free of cost to every persons eligible to receive them. We thank the COVAX facility and all benefactors like the governments of Dominica, India, Taiwan, etc., who have been helping us. I am happy to report that we have, through the OECS Commission, made charter flight arrangements to bring 125,000 doses of vaccines by the most direct route from India to St. Lucia, where individual distribution will be made via the RSS as soon as the charter arrives. I was informed this evening that the expected arrival of the charter is on or about February 26, 2021. The expectation is that the RSS plane will be in St. Lucia, awaiting the arrival of the charter plane coming from India. The cost of the charter is US $250,000, or just about $680,000. This cost will be met by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. I have, as chairman of the ECCB Monetary Council, advised Governor Antwine to release the funds with the approval of members of the Monetary Council. Additionally, 21,600 doses are expected via the COVAX facility shortly thereafter. In sum, over 41,600 vaccines will be available shortly, in addition to the 2,000 we had in stock and with which we started our vaccination rollout. We are calling on developed countries to ensure that the COVAX facility delivers on its mandate for equitable distribution of the vaccines. Developed countries should avoid the temptation to grab vaccines for their nationals alone. We are not free of COVID-19 unless all countries are free of it. We support India's massive vaccine assistance to developing countries, and I call on all G7 countries to follow suit. I am privileged tonight to have 3 panelists who have been at the forefront of the government's efforts to defeat COVID-19 and the rollout of our vaccination program. I thank each of them for yeoman's service today to our people and country. The 3 panelists are Dr. Dolores Stapleton Harris, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Hazel Laws, our Chief Medical Officer, and Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, Medical Chief of Staff. We are fortunate tonight to have with us also, joining us virtually, a diplomat in the service to the OECS region, Dr. Didacus Jules. Dr. Jules is passionate about quality service to our region, and I welcome his perspective and virtual participation all the way from St. Lucia. Thank you very much for viewing this program. We value your feedback, and I look forward to hearing from you tonight. May God continue to bless the wonderful people of St. Kitts and Nevis and to bless and prosper our beautiful country. Thank you.